secret. Your dirty little secret. Hey everyone, welcome. We are Uncensored Horror and we're live. As live as things get in Derry, Maine, which is questionable at best as to what's alive and what's not. We are Uncensored Horror. This is my lovely co-host Katie McCarthy to that side of me there. And below us in the depths is our very special guest, Mr. Kenny Legs. He's creeping out from the sewers and ready to join us today.
He's floating.
Because we've reached the end point. Katie, you'll be thrilled. You'll be thrilled. We've reached the end point. Ish.
Have we though?
Have we though? Retrospective. I know. Have we though is the ultimate question.
Have we?
Because today, ladies and gentlemen, as we said, we are back into the sewers, or the sewers are coming back to get us. It's like when you flush when you shouldn't. It's one of those moments. The sewer comes up to meet you. Today, we are discussing 2019's It Chapter 2.
You know, I don't think it's coincidental that my youngest was born in 2019 and this was released in 2019.
A great evil was unleashed on the world in 2019.
It really was.
By the name of Arlo. You can't help it. It was. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's cute. Lucky is cute.
Yeah, that's
my mom. That's my mom, and I love her a lot. Like, I'm aware that that's your mum, kid. It's all right. I've known her since pretty much before you were born. That's okay.
Good times, good times.
So, I definitely saw this one in cinemas. What about you kids? Did you line up? Were you seeing it?
Saw it pregnant.
Obviously.
And missed a lot of it because I spent a lot of time in the bathroom.
Well, it's a long movie. No wonder you spent time in the bathroom.
So and my back hurt, so I needed to stretch. But yes, I saw it in the cinema as well.
Kenny, you've muted yourself. Talk again, Kenny. No, you've muted yourself somehow.
Kenny.
Come back to us, Kenny.
Oh, no, I got him.
Oh, God, no.
No.
It was... Look, the joy of live... No, it's still not working. The joy of live radio. It was working 5 seconds ago before we pressed the go button. I don't know if I've muted you, Kenny. I'll have a look. But we are here. We are ready to discuss...
Oh, God, Kenny, right behind you.
Oh, my God, he got you, Kenny. It's not me. It's not me, Kenny. I didn't do it. It was... I don't know what's happening. Maybe you need to go out and come back in. That sometimes solves our problems.
Did you turn it off and turn it on?
Yeah, the ultimate horror. Did you turn it off at the power and try it again? But I lined up this. It had well and truly hit the zenith peak when this one released itself upon the world. It was like, oh, this is serious. People will be loving a bit of it, which is cool. It was maximum overdrive, and I was down with it. I'm down with it. Talk, Kenny.
Nope.
Oh my God, no. What have you done?
Blink twice if you're in danger. Oh, he's in danger. All right, we're in trouble.
No, continue to fiddle with your display, and Katie and I will discuss. It is well and truly, yeah. I think with the first movie, it was always going to hopefully take off and find an audience. But by the time this came out, I was still working in a physical media store. Remember those things? Physical media.
Yeah, I worked in one of those too as a teenager.
And it was off the chain with people expecting this coming, and the sale of the first one as well. It was to be expected that this was going to hit pretty big, and I think it did. We will talk about the box office of it all and the reality of what would happen post this movie, because the popularity of Pennywise hasn't ever been bigger, I guess, after this movie. We talked about it last review, that it kind of pushed him into the upper echelons, I guess, of horror characters.
I work
It's
with
like what's going on with Art the Clown now.
I work with tiny humans, and one of the tiny humans told me they were going to be Pennywise today. I said, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you that day."
We did have Kenny did send a very cute a video of Dom in some Pennywise movie. He goes, "Hey, Georgie." I'm like, no, you can barely speak, but you can say, "Hey, Georgie." That's cute.
Adorable. But yeah, no,
It is adorable.
The little human was very, very cute. Is very, very cute. I love this little human, but I will not be speaking to this little human on Halloween. Like, you're cool, but stay over there. Right there. Right there.
Yeah, look, it's definitely interesting, the breadth of desire for Pennywise and who he is and what's going on with him.
Is that working? One more.
He's here.
Oh, we got him. We got him back.
One more time.
We got him. We got him.
Lovely.
So we were just talking,
restart,
Kenny, about
fix the
the mass appeal of Pennywise, as you sent me your video of Dom doing his best Pennywise impression.
We love doing it.
And
my best friend posed their child. They do Halloween photos. That's their thing. Like they dress the child/children now up as horror characters and do a photo shoot. And when Hudson was little, he got dressed up as Pennywise, and he like half crawled out of a drain to take a photo. He was all about it.
Nope. I was telling our friend Steve here that I work with tiny humans, and one of my tiny humans today told me that they are going to be Pennywise for Halloween, and I told them I will not be speaking to them that day. Nope.
Good luck telling which one's the real one.
Nope. Stay over there.
So many options. Take your seat away from me, please.
Away. Thank you.
So this film kicks off 27 years after the first film. Funny that. I do like that our first intro was a little bit of a well, it seems like a non sequitur for people that hadn't read the book, but for people that did read the book and are familiar with the Stephen King and all, the Adrian Mellon story / vignette in the book is really important because it kind of sets the tone of modern day Derry for this new book, and does the same for the movie. I forgot a lot of this movie, I've realized. I am like the Losers Club. I've kind of forgotten a lot because there's a lot of content in it, and it's been a long time since I've actually sat down and watched both of them so close together. I forgot how violent this is, this first part.
Yeah. There's the whole Adrian scene is Adrian, but sorry, I had to take my moment there. It's heartbreaking because the whole hate crime of it all. Like, if that's not bad enough, let's just watch the person you love the most get a chunk ripped out of them by a killer clown. That's
Before that, get the snot beaten out of them by some herpes-ridden 13-year-old.
Yeah,
right. That gross. That kid did look gross. And was that kid a female?
No, just
No.
Okay. I just thought.
I am convinced that
it's a very ugly
people
townie.
like them are just, they're getting bullied themselves and are very insecure and just they're one ass kicking away from coming to Jesus.
It is for a lot of people, and it's one of those situations where if you don't know or haven't experienced that kind of intimidation threat of violence, you don't realize how real it is.
Mm-hmm.
It does ring bells, as you know, somebody of that community. That idea of, oh fuck, I'm in the minority here, and something bad might just be about to happen, is very palpable. But the real life horror quickly segues into, you know, what we expect. And this is the first time that we're seeing, correct me if I'm wrong, adults see Pennywise in this part of, like, in this iteration.
So, pretty sure. But, you know, it is always a horror movie when bigots aren't your biggest problem.
Yeah. And I do like the kind of questionable reality of Adrian floating down the screen, and like, because the water's in his eyes, we kind of see Pennywise, but we don't see Pennywise, and it's
But it's also reasonable for him to think like, hey, this is just like one of the carnival workers in costume
because
coming
the
to help
carnival's
me.
on
Yeah.
town. Yeah.
Like, oh, everything's fine. Psych.
It did make me wonder, like, if Pennywise was desperate, you know, or not really desperate, you know, he was just coming out of his hibernation, so he just needed to feed, and that's why he went on children, on an adult. But they also had the added hate into the situation, which, you know, made it more tasty or a little more filling or whatever it is to him.
You know,
the fear.
that's a
We
solid
talked about,
point.
yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about it
the
last
fear.
time, and from the 1990s version and this, and the book, this happens towards the end of the cycle. So I guess he's just eating and consuming when and how he can, because that just seems like a chance moment in like in a day in the life of Derry, which I kind of guess factors more into the question of how pervasive that evil is in the town. Is it intrinsically inside of everyone who is in Derry, or does it lurk in the shadows, or is it, you know, it's not just specifically after the Losers Club, which I guess was the biggest focus, especially in the 90s, but we saw a bit more of the body count in the last movie, and we know for a fact that there are more kids that this thing has been consuming. It's just seems to be a little bit of a weird outlier.
Well, here's my question. We know fear makes it more tasty, but I wonder, like, does, like, just kind of like Kenny said, does hate make it tastier too? Like, does he really like the anger and hate and fear and all the bad feelings?
So, because from what I've seen,
fear, and that helps.
Yeah, what I've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen the latest preview for Welcome to Derry. I think it's actually going to answer a lot of questions. And there is a new tagline: "Get down with the clown." So,
oh, I'm sorry, I just twitched there. My bad.
Yeah, there's
clowns from outer space.
I know.
Like,
I see Pete gonna be like, oh.
That's like the only clown movie I can like fully.
Does he have a hatchet?
Who knows? But yeah, it looks to me in that trailer that we're going to get a bit more of an explanation about how it infects and affects the town, because I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Before we even get into it, the promo for this TV show has been brilliant. Have you seen all the retro posters and stuff that are like all charming Americana, and they've got some creepy little line, or there's like a red balloon floating in the corner? The campaign is beautiful, and it's going to be interesting to see, because as I was talking to Katie last week or the week before, I can't remember what it was, but the Welcome to Derry episodes are nearly movie length as well. So they got a lot to say in this show. So there's a lot of backstory, which there is in the book. And it was nice to see that we got the Adrian Mellon story. But we quickly segue away from Adrian. He is the catalyst to kind of really get people coming back. And I guess that's what makes Mike definitely call everyone, because it's not kids now, it's everyone, it's anyone, and it's feeding at a rapid rate. It's
I don't know if you remember, but on the bridge, whenever he was looking, he went down there and found the balloon and said, "Come home,
Yeah,
come home." So
yeah,
he
he's
knew it was
calling them
time.
out. Yeah, he knew it. He's calling them out, and we get that at the very end too. I love again we had the uncanny valley moments in this where balloons do very strange things against gravity and the forces of nature. But those balloons just pouring out of the bottom of the bridge, I was just like, oh god, like what do you do? How do you get away from that? That's the thing. You don't get away from it. It's
Yeah, no
there,
matter how
and
you might think there's a trick to the eyes, there's no trick to all those balloons.
and I like that's the this is what I actually really enjoy about this movie. It blurs the creature and the movie blurs the lines of reality because Mike finds a balloon. So in the bushes, it's not those
Yeah.
balloons weren't just an optical illusion. It wasn't just a historical. Oh my god, I can't speak today. It wasn't just anyone's imagination. It blurs the lines of reality as to what is actually going on. All right. This is going to be hard to talk about, so we're just going to just kind of just tackle it straight up. Huge cast in this movie, but like in the 90s, I think they did pretty damn well. And especially when you look at them side to side like that.
Yeah,
You're like,
Stan,
oh, damn.
she was right when she said, it's like you, but taller.
But taller and older.
Stan is dead on. Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Richie, the child actor, specifically wanted Bill Hader, and I think it was a good move. It was a good move.
Right. And again, Bill Hader at this point, not really Saturday Night Live an alum, It's like, what's he going to do in a horror movie? Obviously, Richie got a bit more comedic this time.
Mm-hmm.
And
a little more freedom.
It was
a few
a little bit more.
F-bombs.
Yeah. I did like that it wasn't. This is the thing that kind of, like the last one we talked about, I think the problem with the 90s is that everyone had their own flashback after the phone call, and it made that stretch out. We saw these phone calls in pretty rapid succession. It was like, bam, 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 this is all happening. You're coming back. And it didn't skip over. Ben's was different, but not, his was
not
not
suicidal.
Really
I mean,
yeah, not a suicidal.
There's such visceral reactions for some of them. I mean, Richie literally throws up. Eddie crashes his car.
And I totally forgot about the Eddie of it all.
Bez
that
beats
he's talking
her,
on his
her
phone.
husband.
I forgot that he's talking on his phone to his wife, who is the actress who played his mother. It's like,
I had to look it up. I was like, is that her? Is that her?
Yeah.
And it really was. And that says a lot, I like the statement they made there.
Mm-hmm.
And
marry your mom when you're a guy like that.
I love you, mommy. What'd you say? Car accident. Bang. It's like, oh no, poor Eddie Spaghetti. But Stan, of course, Stan's reaction takes the cake. Quite literally.
Yeah, Stan and Bev, theirs are up there.
Yeah, I liked seeing that. I feel like at the end of the last movie, Beverly was... We'd seen an arc with Beverly, and she'd gone through it, and she'd risen above and was moving forward. But 27 years is a long time, and you fall back into the patterns that you know and that you're raised in. And for Beverly to be in a relationship like the relationship we find her in is very spot on, for human psychology and stuff like that. I forgot how, at some points, heavy-handed this is an allegory for trauma and childhood trauma and moving through trauma. But or as Jamie Lee Curtis would say, trauma. But the matter, there's some really on the nose moments, but there's some moments where you're like, oh, okay, this is a big healing. I wonder what Stephen King was trying to purge with this one because
excuse me,
there's some interesting stuff if you look into it too far.
Beverly running from one monster to another.
Right. And the whole forgiveness angle with Bill. We do get I kind of have to call myself a little bit fickle because I always blow up about not putting comedy into horror movies when it's not needed. I do enjoy the satire of Bill Denborough and him being unable to stick the landing with endings, as is a big criticism with Mr. King himself. So it's he just constantly gets the shit kicked out of him when he thinks he's doing a great job. It's like, yeah, but no. Yeah, but no.
That line hits so much harder coming from Stephen King himself. Like,
yeah.
the ending.
And we have to talk about the King cameo, but we'll get there. We will get there. We were in that Chinese restaurant quickly.
Yeah, we were.
I remember that taking a while in the miniseries, obviously, and they didn't really pull the punches there either. But this is going to be my criticism of this installment. I feel like, especially with the CGI in some of it, I'm just thinking these big naked characters that are running around. I get that it's not supposed to look real either, but it's not. Some of them aren't scary looking; they're just weird looking.
I mean,
silly, almost silly.
Scary to me because you know that one character is like looking into the future for me. Like that's me when I'm 80, running around naked, screaming. It's bound to happen. Okay, it's just bound to happen. But we all know how I feel about unnecessary CGI just for the sake of having something shocking and spooky. We don't need it. The story is spooky.
It kind of starts at the Chinese restaurant though, because the Chinese restaurant scene in the 90s adaptation was genuinely shocking when you looked at that chicken fetus that looked real. Yes. You know, that was for a 90s effect, the eyeball, and they did their little nods to it, but it didn't really land for me as much as it should have.
Because it's almost like saying, hey, remember the 90s scene? I'm going to one-up it. When it wasn't needed. Like, the 90s scene was effective. It was creepy. It was unsettling. So why not recreate that instead of just throwing these, like, little micro monsters out just because they look cool? Half the time you see a CGI effect in a horror movie like a monster, it's not nearly as scary as the idea of the monster stuff. I will give an example. Did y'all see The Ritual?
I love The Ritual. I thought it was good.
Tell me,
I went and read the book afterwards.
Tell me that monster was 100 times scarier before you actually saw the fucking thing.
Well, yeah, it was intimidating, but I liked the way the Wendigo looked with the like arms for the horns and stuff. It was cool looking.
I was scared, scared when you were seeing like shadows of it, or just hearing the noises of it. And look up this. I mean, you're just gonna have to watch it. It's a fantastic movie. It's atmospheric. Yeah. It's dark. It's good. But then you see this monster, and you're like, it's like a spirit Halloween animatronic. I can't.
But and then I was like, am I being a little bit too critical? Because is this just a manifestation of what they were scared of as a child through their adult eyes? So it's not supposed to look real. It's supposed to look uncanny valley. It's supposed to look strange. It's supposed to look out of place. Like the balloon actually being there, like the many things that happen in this movie that we question who can see what and what they do see. Is that maybe it? Am I giving that too much credit? I don't know. That just gave me a pause because I was sitting there going, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should just chill out a little bit. It's a question to ask, I think.
Yeah.
That's all.
Unfortunately, I'm leaning towards your first instinct. It's just bad CGI, but
Okay.
maybe
But
they were trying
look,
to say something.
it's another discourse, but I do like that it works for me that we flash in between the child and adult timelines, because for all intents and purposes, it looked like we were done with the kids' stories. But then we get Henry Bowers out of nowhere, spewed out of the sewer, along with bits and pieces of the rest of Derry. And we see Henry arrested and taken to the asylum and all the good things that happened to Henry there. I like that we actually got Patrick Hockstetter, because that's a really creepy part in the book. In the book, when Patrick / it comes for him and gets him out, it's actually quite disturbing and creepy. It was a little bit comedic this time, shall I say? What is that?
Yeah, but like that was like, I feel like it's almost breaking a little tension before it sets it back up. And I thought he was tastefully done. Like it was scary.
Oh, the makeup and everything was cool. I just think the way he interacts with, like when he gets in the car with him, he's like,
the reveal whenever he popped out from under the bed, that was a good show. That was a good moment. I was shocking. I like that the balloon, and then all of a sudden there's Hockstetter.
I like little breaks, like little funny moments like that, just because it puts you at ease for just a moment, just to like get you really unsettled all over again. I like that. It makes you feel comfortable, and then it reminds you should never be comfortable.
And there is no comfort in Derry, because, as we just discussed, at the Chinese banquet, everything goes crazy with the revelation that Stan is no longer with us. I thought it was interesting that they played into Beverly and the Deadlights a bit more in this one, and that she actually saw how each of them died. That was an interesting little twist to add into it, and obviously freaks people out. Richie and Eddie are out, as of course it would be.
Kick this one down the road. Handle it in 27 years.
He's
70.
Richie
asshole.
is an asshole in this, isn't he? He is like,
he's always been an asshole, but he's
now
asshole.
a curmudgeonly. He's a curmudgeonly old asshole. Yeah, it's like, is that the future? Maybe, you never know. But we see a little bit of side action here as well. I do like that this little girl that we thought was just a throwaway character in the Adrian Mellon part comes back, and I legitimately, this is the part of the movie it fucking freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this at the cinemas, because like, what is this? What's this? I don't understand. This isn't in the book. This wasn't the thing. When we see Pennywise on the hunt, he's bold. This Pennywise is bold. This is a lot of people. Like, he is real close by to a lot of people, and he's like, I want this little girl. She gon' die. And he does do the typical predator behavior of, oh, feel sorry for me, boo-hoo. But this part made me go, whoa. I jumped the whole fly for 1, 2. I can't do the eyes. He's supposed to say, shit. That little girl's face. What happened to that little girl's face? But it's all good.
Yeah, I'm just nope.
It seemed like something that possibly could have happened to me in my younger years.
Kenny, what are you doing underneath the bleachers?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell are you doing underneath some bleachers there, Kenny?
Nothing.
What stays in Derry? What happens in Richmond?
Oh my goodness.
So the mic of it all. I get that he's a librarian, and this is where it starts to. There is so much exposition to get through, especially with the adult version of these characters. Did we need the ritual of Chud? Could they have just overcome it without it?
It's important in
adding
the
a
book.
whole lot.
I think like what they really wanted to do is like people were disappointed in the ending of the 90s movie. They were like, a big spider? No, it's supposed to be this big ritual. And I think that might have had some influence, and they couldn't just throw it in there in the end. Because I read the book, but it's been a while, so I know that I'm not sure how early on
There's whole
the
chapters on it.
Chode ritual was introduced.
They can't do some of the ritual.
Yeah, some of the rituals a bit. Some of them is
Yeah.
Roman
do it.
Polanski territory.
You can't
so
do
we can't
it.
go there. We can't go there. But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of where it starts. Obviously, it puts them in different places to get things. I don't know. Clunky is what I'm going to call this. It's clunky, but
See,
there's a lot to get through.
I hated the ending to this movie, this one, more than I hated the ending to the original part
Okay,
two.
we'll discuss that.
Kenny gets it. Kenny gets it.
Hold on.
You get it.
So we have the notion and the very good plot device that they have to separate in order to find their tokens to defeat it, the thing that is the core of their, I guess, fears, the core of their experience, the core of that childhood that is going to help them not only remind them but defeat the evil. Of course, Billy's is Georgie's boat. They like to pick these big-eyed kids, don't they? Yeah, I'm gonna this big-eyed child, and again, the same. If you come into contact with the Losers Club, you're fucked. If you're a child, no wonder none of them had children, and that is part of the book too, that they were unable to have children because of, I guess, whatever they experienced until after it's like an internal safety mechanism that you can't reproduce until this thing's well and truly dead. But this little kid that that Richie blows up in the restaurant thinking it's a manifestation of it, he's wide-eyed and innocent. I liked how can you not like James? Like, he's a great actor.
James McAvoy?
Yeah. He's fantastic.
I never said I didn't like James McAvoy.
I think he was the right choice for Bill. Like, he's very earnest and believes in it all. And he rediscovers Silver, and it was nice to get that Hi-Ho Silver moment. But I have to rewind because we missed the cameo. And probably the funniest part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with the banjo, ding 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 ding, beaver, the fucking bike. I love it, beaver.
I mean, if James McAvoy can play a man with split personalities, he can do a stutter pretty convincingly.
Yeah, and I think this is Stephen King's best acting in all the cameos that he's done.
Just love Stephen King. I just love him.
And the signing of the book. He's like, I see you coming. I'm going to soap you for some dollars. He's like, would you like me to sign the book? Nah, I didn't like the ending.
Listen, there are a few Stephen King books that I don't like the ending to, but I will still read every single book he puts out.
Poor Billy.
It's good enough for me.
Poor Billy.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. You know what? I think he just has to hit the Coca-Cola a little harder. Because, I mean, we got the Shining out of it,
They used
right?
to be really good, yeah.
We got the Shining out of it. Come on now.
But this is so. I think the psychological was a little bit, as we discussed in the last installment, because it was so bloody and so full on and so intense. We kind of missed the psychological game portion a little bit. Pennywise is playing with it with Billy Hardcore. It's like, I only took Georgie because you weren't here.
Oh, that
More
scene was heartbreaking. The little kid just
exactly.
Why him?
And between James McAvoy and the kid Dean is the kid's name. That little kid could act the house down too. When he's like, "Stay away from this," he's like, "I have to go to the fair." Okay, shit, I gotta go.
I'm supposed to be
Beverly.
The king is having a festival. Sorry, wrong movie.
Beverly. I liked that it was very similar to the 90s version with the whole name on the doorbell. But we also got a bit of the book, because this is the descendants of what manifests as Pennywise. You know, we got a little bit. I really liked this part. That old lady's creepy as fuck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Sneaking around, and then all of a sudden she's naked and just.
Yeah.
I love whenever he infects somebody and they do their little. I'm like, it makes me, but it's always in the background, like the library scene in the last one where it's like, there's a creepy old woman. That creepy old woman we'll tick that off. We'll do it. But we see what manifests, and I can't remember for the life of me the character name in the book, because it's a whole big chapter of the book about the German family that come over and Pennywise the dancing clown and and that's why it manifests. But we got no makeup Pennywise. No makeup Pennywise was there.
Buying it.
And I just a sneak peek into what we're probably going to get with Welcome to Derry.
Well, I don't also. He's in. I was concerned when they announced the show, and apparently there was a little bit of ambivalence about him returning. I was like, well, he's going to be in one scene. Like they'll tease out Pennywise as the clown for the entire season, and it'll be. He's in that makeup a lot in the trailer. So I don't know whether they've just picked the bits and pieces, but he's in. When they say he's in the show, he's in the show. It's not special guest. So it's a lot. And judging from what I've seen and what the interviews have been saying, if you thought this was dark, it gets a lot darker.
Yes, this he's in 5 episodes. How many episodes are we getting?
I think there's 6 or 8, maybe. I'm not sure. That's the majority.
That's the majority of it.
But it proves again that it's not necessarily just the makeup that provides this performance, because even when he's not in the makeup, he's still disturbing.
Doing that eye thing.
Doing the eye, the drool.
Rude.
Just the intensity.
Bill Hader hated that.
Yeah.
He thought it was just like a camera trick, and then he kind of just does it
oh no, he can do it. He can do it. But I like that as he applies the makeup, it etches into his skin and becomes a wound. It's all very
scratches
the
red
scratches
part
his eye. Yeah.
That was really disturbing.
Red. It was. See, that's a good use of graphics. And stuff.
Yes, that's how you're supposed to do it.
And terrifying Beverly to the fact, to the point of absolute shite again. I think though, and again, I don't like to criticize. She could have been a little bit more traumatized. She was a bit more traumatized when she was running around those dinosaur-filled islands for me. I'm a bit more scared of this than a big bird, but that's just me.
She'd already seen the deadlights.
True, Kenny. This is very true. She'd already seen the deadlights.
She's been through, and she had a fight with her Eddie Vedder-looking husband. So she's been through some stuff, and her dad. She's been through a lot. She's a tough old gal.
That is a good point. She is still very, very, very literally living out her childhood trauma while everyone is rediscovering theirs.
I mean,
so that is a good point.
As much as I love Beverly, I have some beefs with Beverly. But we'll get to that.
You want to say beep beep Beverly?
Beep beep Beverly, but also it has to wait till the end. We're not there yet. We'll discuss it, and I will get into it. However,
Richie Tozier, can we talk about?
I was going to say Jessica Chastain can act her ass off, and anyone who
she
says
can,
otherwise,
she's definitely a great actress. I was just like, oh, okay, she doesn't like. I think we just had such Beverly in the 90s was like, whoa, like she was into it.
She was outacted by a child
was like,
actress.
I'm gonna scream my heart out.
Oh no, she was 100% outacted by that child actress, but still, still did great.
All right, again, I forgot about Richie and the fact that we're
Richie?
Well, the whole sexuality thing. I forgot about
arcade.
Yeah, the arcade.
Richie's Henry's husband, Henry's cousin.
Henry's cousin. Yeah. It's like, oh. And the one part that I was always like, how are they going to make this scary? From the book. I actually really like this scene in the park in broad daylight.
Paul Bunyan.
When the whole town stops and is doing a little jig behind him. Again, I feel like that's what the Machetes did so well. When the scare is happening and when we are so involved in the foreground, there is still stuff happening in the background that is questionable whether it is part of the vision/hysteria. But seeing Pennywise up on the nobody wants to play with the clown anymore. He was sad. He's like, which I guess is the point. Again, going back to what we were saying at the very beginning, the desperation of Pennywise to consume, to eat before the hibernation. People aren't scared of a clown anymore, of that manifestation of him anymore. So that's why he has to use the town more. Nobody wants to play with the clown. Because let's face it, if we're pushing this story forward into a 2000s plus timeline, if you're a little kid and there's somebody dressed as a turn of the last century clown, I don't think I'm going to go hang out with him.
Yeah, you'll be
Just
thinking
quietly.
that whole little phase where they had, people dressing up as clowns, just trying to scare people, standing out in random places. That's all clowns are these days. He'd have to dress up as, like a Slender Man or something. He'd have to be he'd have to be a creepypasta if he wanted. He'd
be something from Five Nights at Freddy's or something like that. Something that they
straight out the back rooms.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible to relate something as simple as a clown these days.
But Richie gets his token after noticing that he's a token homosexual, and it's a little bit on the nose, but we go with it. But I really liked it. I actually enjoyed the statue coming to life, and the flashback when he's just laying on the shit my pants. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. And I think it kind of adds an extra layer to Richie's whole thing, that yes, he has the trauma of dealing with it and all of that horrible murder and death that we saw, but he also has a secret that none of the losers know.
Seems like nobody knows. He's
the only one that kind of clings to it. Yeah.
Oh, Eddie knew.
You think?
Oh, hell yeah.
You think? What? Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I mean,
Ben. Oh, sorry. Continue, Katie.
I mean, it's pretty much implied that there's a past between them more than just friendship.
Yeah, but I didn't get that from the adult. I didn't get it.
I did.
Can you cite me some moments just in case I have forgotten?
Well, specifically in the end.
Yeah.
He lost his lover. I mean, they're all torn up about it, but they're not nearly as torn up about it as Richie.
Get that. I just don't think that it was. all right. Yeah, I think we can. It's not just a sexuality thing, but I think we can all relate to having a very immense crush on somebody who has no idea that you're alive or exist. And this is just also happens to be one of his closest friends. I don't think that there was ever any acknowledgement of it. It feels like it was one-sided, and that's kind of what makes it even more tragic.
I don't know that it was one side. I just feel like they both knew, but they didn't say it. But they knew.
I don't get that, but that's okay.
I got
agreement to have.
I mean,
something.
we're gonna have to.
We'll agree to disagree.
Well, that too, but like I'm just gonna have to trust you on this, man. But like, I totally got like that they were into each other and that there was this like unspoken kind of relationship that maybe if they got out of here alive, they'd come out and this would be that. But for someone who does not like happy endings as much as I do not like happy endings in a horror movie, I was rooting for him.
Yeah, that's the one you wanted.
That's the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted.
What about his wife, though?
She's a beard. I'm sorry. Have you never heard of a beard?
Yes. There's a.
I'm going to take you to Hag School, Kenny. It'll be fine.
I can't remember what the line is. He's like, "What about the true horror story? You married a woman that's 100 pounds heavier than you." It's like something like that. I was like, "Oh fuck me." I don't know that Eddie was that clued in. I think Eddie, and it is a quintessential. I think it's a rite of passage homo moment where you fall, and it is. The more I think about it, you fall in love with your straight friend who loves you as a friend but doesn't love you the other way, and it's all very heartbreaking. And woe is me. Trust me, with all if.
It happens with boys and girls as well.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Steve, you promised you wouldn't tell anyone about us.
But that's what it
really
that's what it smells of to me. As like, I think Eddie was just a nice kid who loved his friend, and Richie loved his friend, but he also loved his friend.
Okay,
but couldn't tell him because they grew up in the 90s.
Agree to disagree. I'm done with that. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, cool.
That's fine.
Ben and Mike are probably the least interesting characters, but at least they hired a hottie to play Ben, an Australian hottie as well. Serve. Well done.
Okay, I can do it now. All right. I don't think Beverly would have ever ended up with him in the end if he wasn't hot.
If he wasn't hot,
I think.
And even Pennywise is like, all those sit-ups. Nothing. It's like,
well, think about it. We get the big fake out with Ben, right? When we're introducing him, we think he's the older guy in the office, and then he goes to the screen and he's a hottie.
Good-looking guy.
I think if Ben looked like who they were trying to fake you out as, she would have ended up with Bill.
Oh, yeah.
I think Beverly's a bit shallow.
But that's also a really good representation of not seeing what's in front of you. She was so obsessed with it being Bill that she couldn't even imagine that it was Ben until he was like, nah, bitch, it was me. Literally at the end, he's like, and then she's like, oh, you loved me even when I didn't love you. It's very like that's some metaphor shit for somebody who is so traumatized by what the definition of love and all that kind of thing is.
Just would have
for someone to. Yeah.
Would have liked to see her in love with Ben when he was hanging tough, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And that scene is fucking harsh too between them in the school, the flashback scene. She's like, how would I ever fall in love with someone who's as fat and disgusting and ugly as you? It's like, oh fuck, Ben.
Oh, that hit home.
Nah, he's got the right stuff. She's just an ass.
Kenny's got some trauma related there. It's all good.
Oh, Kenny.
Okay.
Except I looked like her when he turned back around. My hair was red.
The flaming head. But did you like? Even the subtleness of her hair being redder than it normally is because she was the manifestation of Pennywise was quite cool. I was like subtle and cool. Whoa! Something's happening at Katie's house. Fortnite lost, obviously. Oh god!
Are they spamming, bro?
Who knows?
They're spamming.
Eddie. This was
Kenny's like, what?
Eddie. No, Kenny's
okay.
king of Fortnite. So you don't.
I didn't
need to
hear
mess
anything.
around.
So
I am Kenny's liability for Fortnite. I'm just there for the
Gotcha,
vicious verbal takedowns of our fellow teammates.
Oh
That's
boy.
I'll pull you
they
right
keep
out
me
the
around.
sewers. I got you.
But Eddie's like grindhouse splatter moment with his mother was. She's like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. Look, she deserved it.
She deserved it.
She deserved it. That woman's a monster.
He said what he said.
Literally.
He said what he said.
I said what I said. But the Mr. Keen picking at his mole. I don't think it's cancer. He's like, oh God.
Cancer.
Yeah, I did like that they didn't shy away from how comedic young Eddie was, and it manifested itself in a very dry but very similar humor in the adult Eddie, because that was good casting.
Let's just be honest here. Eddie has OCD.
Eddie's got a lot of problems.
As a
Let's be real.
fellow OCDer, like just something the smallest thing can send you spiraling, and you will obsess over it, and he'll do it. You can see it. You
know what I think they should have made a little bit more of, though, now that I think about it? When they go back down to the sewers and they start to do the ritual, Mike just happens to pull out this rock that he knows is the rock that hit Henry Bowers.
Listen, Mike is a librarian. He's always prepared. Every librarian I've ever known in my life.
But doesn't that also show you the I feel like they that should have rang a few more bells with them to go, Mike. He also fucking microdosed Bill to trip it out to see like
it was for his own good. It was for his own good. It was therapeutic.
But I don't know how altruistic Mike's motives are, because he knows that he needed Bill. Everyone wasn't going to believe Mike. They were going to believe Bill. Mike's pulling some strings. So I don't think, because we're to believe that Mike is this guide, and, Mike is very flawed in this. And I feel like it should have been pointed out a bit more. It happens later, obviously, at the end of the ritual, when they're like, you didn't tell them the end of the story, did you, Mike? It's like, the gazebos. Giant spider. They knew what they were doing.
Okay, can we talk about the ending now? Are we here?
I refuse to believe they didn't go, everyone hated the giant spider so much. It's time to make him a giant spider again. And just
but
really
this time, we're going to defeat him by bullying him.
But is it not the whole narrative, the point of the narrative of reclaiming and recovering from your childhood trauma that you
it just felt like
acknowledge, and
it just felt way too on the nose.
But it's the book, though.
It seemed like it's kind of what they were doing as kids, and
it just felt very weird. Like, oh my god,
there's a little more tongue. There's a little more tongue action in the book,
right? You're a spider.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're so small. You can't. It's like you can't.
It's very It is very psychology. I feel like maybe Stephen King was dipping back into his psych course. I'm going to make the thing that was so huge to me so small, and it's a little Psych 101. But
I just don't think Stevie thought this one through. Didn't think this one through. The coke was wearing off at this point.
But I did like the intensity of these hallucination scenes that we get when they're separated.
Yeah.
The Beverly and Ben like drowning in their literal pasts. And then Billy, the Billy of it all, with Bill speaking to Georgie, then becoming Georgie for his younger self and having to kill his younger self because of the trauma. Like, this is some psychology shit. It's like, I will address my trauma, I will become my trauma, and then I will reclaim my trauma for myself, my former self. Like, okay, we see that. We like to shoot kids in the heads with bolt guns in this. It's the de jour, apparently. That's okay. It's okay. And this is where we get the revelation, the Bill and the Bev and Ben. That's hard to say. Bev and Ben revelation. Oh, and we've totally skipped over it because there's so much happening in this movie. One of the most shocking moments was Henry stabbing Eddie in the cheek. And him talking.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I was like, oh, fuck, that was fucked up. That was. But I also like that, going back to that he, obviously, of course he's the most afraid because he just got fucking stabbed in the cheek. And he's like, when he throws up and everyone had to go at Eddie, I'm like, of course, like, dude, he's the one with a face wound. You all just had some psychological games played with you. This guy took one for the team. And him, I guess, reclaiming his bravery. So it's Beverly's fault that he's dead, obviously, because this kills monsters. That's why you shouldn't trust bitches, man.
Whoa.
If him and Richie could have skipped off and opened a B&B somewhere, but no, he had to listen to the hag and reclaim his trauma.
Whoa.
I'm gonna save everyone.
Whoa.
I'm just playing.
You said you had beef with Bev.
I do have beef with Bev, but she does not speak for me. She does not speak for me.
As part of the hag community, she does not speak for me.
She does not speak for me. No, thank you. No, thank you, ma'am.
This is unexpectedly really fucking. I forgot how sad this was. I'm like, oh, Eddie. Couldn't it be Mike? If a character, no, but I'm just saying, if a character had he has questionable motives, he used questionable tactics, wouldn't his sacrifice be more rewarding than poor Eddie? I'm just saying that because Eddie's been my favorite character in this iteration.
You did say Eddie was your favorite.
I'm just like, oh.
I don't know if that would have had the same oomph.
I know it's a gut punch because we get Richie's reaction to it. It's like, oh, you're heartbroken and he wants you to stay. But yeah. But they do manage to finally kill it. They kill Pennywise, and to see it small and to see it afraid. Again, great acting from the Skarsgård, but it's a Skarsgård, so there's not going to be subpar acting from the Skarsgård family at all. To see, when he got little, and I was like, oh, this isn't really scary. He looks like a puddle of baby, and that's. But I guess that's the point. We are supposed puddle of baby. We're supposed to see him scared and terrified. And when he's reaching out for his little heart with his little baby hands, it's like, it's the first time I ever felt sympathy. Oh, actually, not really. I did feel sorry for him when he was sitting on Paul Bunyan's shoulder. It's like, no one wants to play with me.
I never feel sympathy for a man.
No, not even baby hands Pennywise, where he's like, yeah, let me hat. Let me hat.
No.
Oh,
no.
Let me hat.
No.
It's okay. We'll move on. We'll move on. Because he did, fool. And the whole shit comes down. Well, I think this is well and truly putting a full stop on it because all that shit's gone bye-byes, you know? Mm-hmm. Even the house on Nebolt Street gets sucked into the ground. And again, something so tragic about Eddie's death is that then there's no way they're ever going to be able to recover his body. He is just lost. He's lost to the whole experience. And that makes it even fucking worse.
Good luck explaining it to his wife, Mom.
Yeah. But also, you can never not associate Eddie with it, and like it's not like you have somewhere to go and visit his grave. If you want to find, like, they're always going to have to come back to Derry. It's always going to be a constant reminder. But I guess that is also part of the story, because when you lose someone that is so intrinsically linked to your childhood, to your growing up, to that narrative of your life, it forces you back all the time. But it's even more tragedy, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's punish the gays some more. We love that. We love that narrative. Are we back in the 90s again? Who knew? I like this quarry scene though. I did like the quarry scene. I like that they got to wash away the sins, but also acknowledge it. And we saw, yeah.
Back to the quarry.
Who's making out underwater though?
Who's making out underwater?
Especially in quarry water.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's like brain amoeba territory.
Yeah, you're gonna end up like RFK in that shit. Well, look, one of them. That's what happens to Ben.
I'm not circumcised. I don't have the autism.
Yeah. For whatever, just make sure none of them have Tylenol, for the love of God. Could bring us all undone. It's all undone.
Penis check. Make sure you're not circumcised.
Right. Well, Beverly would know. Beverly would know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's, book Beverly would know.
You tell me you don't hear that, Kenny.
I Googled it. Unclear.
So the losers part way. It says Ben and Beverly get married. Did I miss that? I just thought they were together with a dog.
Of course, there's a dog. There's always a dog.
There's always a dog.
Maybe a bit of paperwork.
What if that dog is a Cujo though? Unexpected crossover. Richie goes and carves Eddie's initial in the bridge.
Do you believe in life after love?
Find the ultimate admission.
I know, right? Because we never saw it when we saw him carving his initial, and plus when he was a kid, and it was a little bit of nice little, like, I'm not afraid to say it now, but it's too late. But I'm gonna say it. It's like tragedy. We love it. We love it. Mike gets to move out of Derry.
Well, yeah,
I'm really turned on this now. This movie made me really dislike the character of Mike.
What did Mike do besides save the world? Honestly,
but he wasn't funny. He wasn't interesting.
He put the
Kenny?
pieces in the place.
No, I'm not going to make that joke. It's distasteful. I'll make it off air.
What I did like about this ending of the movie, though, is it gave Stan a little bit of redemption. Because I feel like, especially in the 90s movie, it made Stan's suicide weak. It made them look like Stan wasn't strong enough to even contemplate facing it, so he just killed himself.
I mean, he basically said the same thing here.
But the letter acknowledges it, and he said that he knew if he came back that he would be strong enough to face it, and he would get everyone else killed. This was his way.
I don't know.
He couldn't just stay at home.
It still feels pretty cowardly.
I know, but it gives some justification for that character, is what I'm saying. Like, we didn't.
Yeah, they couldn't just change it completely.
No, once Stan was dead in the last one, he was dead, except for when he was a head. And I liked that he was a head, but I liked it was the child head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the letter and everything put a nice little bow on everything. And again, like we've been talking about with the Richie and Eddie thing, sometimes you don't realize what an important part someone has played in your life until they're gone. And the thing that Stan did was bring them together again so that they were strong enough to fight it. I don't know, it made me, even last night, it made me smile a bit and go, oh, that's kind of tragically beautiful. Tragically beautiful.
Shakespearean.
Yeah, we're losers and we always will be. Gorgeous, tick, living for that. It was good. The
No
end.
matter how successful.
The
Yep.
end.
The end, my friend.
The end.
My end. The end. So, if there was any question of this being a success, I don't think there was. The box office spoke for itself. $79 million for this installment. Do we care to guess
150.
what it made?
Yes.
80. 150?
I'm doubling
Kenny?
it. Wait, did I double correctly? Yes, I did.
Yeah. Any
I-
guesses on the box office, Kenny? What do you think it made?
You're gonna
Higher
go
than
higher.
that. Yeah, I'm going higher.
Oh, yeah.
I
A
was
lot
being
higher.
conservative.
Well, you didn't need to be conservative because from the
Made it easy
$79
for me.
million box office, from the budget, it made $473.1 million.
Well, like the other conservatives, I failed at
Rightfully
everything.
so.
So I don't think it was ever a question of there wanting to be more, and there was always the rumor of it Chapter 3 after this.
But what
But
could you do
I
with
think
that?
they're doing the right thing this
I
way.
agree.
I think
I
they're
agree.
doing the right thing by going backwards, because we have literally put a pebble in a bucket of the story that is in that book. If you've read it, some of us have done it twice or 3 times actually. Ugh. It's a long slog. There are lots. There is so much story, and I think the omissions of the 50s stuff is going to help the narrative moving forward, because it's already great. Seasons 1 and 2 are shot. Season 3 is greenlit for Welcome to Derry, so they have this expansive canvas to spread out upon, and we are getting we're getting the Stephen King verse crossovers, because the character from The Shining, God, come on, work
Dr.
with me here.
Sleep.
No,
Nope.
it was the chef. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of
Yep.
his name right now.
The chef from The Shining, that
Oh, yeah.
character
Scatman.
is in Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just
So
can't think of his name right now.
That storyline is happening. So we are getting book accurate storylines moving forward. I'm definitely going to check it out. I was interested, but the more I see about it, knowing that it's shot in the town that they shot these 2 movies in, they basically own that town now. that movie and this franchise is injecting so much money into that town. It's becoming, a tourist destination now because of it. And of course it would for the A, Stephen King fans, the B, Pennywise fans. Imagine how many people are making their money dressing up as Pennywise and doing scares and tours and all that kind of thing because of these movies. It's something that's going to keep giving back. So I'm very interested, and we are 11 days away from the first episode of Welcome to Derry. So we'll see how we feel afterwards. But how many beavers out of 5 are we giving it Chapter 2? Katie McCarthy, you go first.
I haven't really thought about this. Oh God.
Beaver.
I'm gonna say 3.5. And again, I'm being conservative. I don't love it. I think some parts were really well done. I think a lot of it's a little sloppy. Like it kind of feels like we'll just throw this together. We got to wrap this up. It's already 2 hours. Let's end this. I really can't say anything bad about the actors, though. That's the one thing I will say. It's just solid acting through and through. The kids, the adults, it's just really nicely done, and it's very pretty to look at. I will give the credit where credit is due.
Definitely well shot, superbly acted. So you said 3.5?
3.5.
I'll hold mine.
3.5 beats.
Beaver?
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 4, not quite 4.5, but 4.2 kick-ass beaver hats. And I would a little bit higher, but there is the bit that drags on in between. But what did deliver, it delivered. Even the naked granny titties They made you feel a way. Even if it was fun, it was also uncomfortable. So even the bad stuff was good.
Even the bad
Yeah.
stuff was good. Okay.
I'm gonna fall right in the middle. I'm gonna say it's a 4.
Okay.
I don't think there was any. Pennywise is in the lounge room at Katie's
Are
place.
you okay? That wasn't my place.
Oh, was that you, Katie?
My kids are asleep.
I hope not.
Oh, that was a Dom. That was a Dom. Okay.
Probably. I can't hear you hear better than me.
We have a spectacular cast. I think it was beautifully directed, beautifully shot. It was pacing and the story that let it down. It could have just been a little bit trimmed up, a little bit nicer. But again, there's so much nostalgia for me associated with this story, from watching the 90s one to reading the book to then seeing this, that I was always going to be invested. But I think that they really did well. And we didn't even talk about the Hall of Mirrors scene, which was so scary and tragic and gross and all the good things at the same time. But there is like the runtime is probably part of the problem. Do you think they could have made it 3 movies?
No.
Is 3 too many?
3 would be too many. I think there's a lot of unnecessary fat that could be trimmed from both movies to cut down the runtime.
Do you think 3 would make it a new Halloween trilogy issue?
I think
they could have done the second one like the transition movie in between going from kids to adults. They might have could have stretched the first one out, made that one, and then stretched this one out.
Yeah,
but I don't know if that would have held the interest. It would have made that 400 he was talking about.
There's just a lot of it's, how do I explain this? Like, it's necessary because it sets a tone, it sets a mood, it sets an atmosphere. However, if you cut it, the movie is still it's still substantial, it's still whole. It's not like an important plot point, but it's important to get you in the mindset. Am I making sense here?
Yeah, I think the comparison to the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy is quite apt, because yes, there was a story there. There were a couple of stories there that were worth telling.
No,
too much for one movie, not enough for 3.
See, I make this argument with the Rob Zombie movies. I argue they're not as bad as everyone makes them out to be. They're definitely not as bad as the David Gordon Green ones. And I think it was an important story to tell. But we can go into that another time, baby, because I'm ready.
I don't know. I
think Rob Zombie is a hell of a director, but he can't write a story to save his life.
See, where Stephen King can write a story, just can't stick the landing. That's okay.
They should pair up.
They should. Oh, could you imagine?
Oh my God, that would be phenomenal. And I'm not even.
But we're in a Stephen King renaissance again. Like, there was a Stephen King renaissance after these movies came out, and now we're kind of there again. He's back in the box office with, what's that called? What's that movie?
The Longest Walk.
Longest Walk. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it, but I've heard great things about it.
I heard great things as well. So we're going to pack our childhood trauma away for today, send it down the river, flush it down the sewers.
You mean I can't keep trauma dumping on you?
Well, Katie, we're going to revisit some childhood trauma. Katie and I are going to check out
I'll call you.
A bit more childhood trauma when we pick up the Black Phone Part 2.
God, I'm so ready for this.
But that is to come. We will have some feelings, I'm sure. Kenny Legs, thank you for joining us on this wild and crazy journey that has taken 4 films and four oh, very nice.
Please go check on your children. I am worried that the clown got them.
Look, Kenny, I'm not. Sometimes you gotta let him scream it out. You know?
Oh, in the words of our fearless leader Jeffrey, fuck them kids.
And in the words of Pennywise, we float down here. We all float. Until next time. Beep beep, kids. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.